I found the secret to grading Pokemon cards, and to prove it, I'm going to be spending a lot of my own money out of pocket by only shopping at local card stores. In the last video, I turned £400 into nearly £700 just through grading. And I did that literally buying cards I found at a card show, which everyone says is impossible. And what's even harder than finding minty cards at a card show? Finding them in local card stores. They said it can't be done, but I'm doing it anyway. Throughout this video, I'm going to be traveling across my entire county to find gradable cards at your favorite card shops, all chosen by you over on Instagram. Which, by the way, follow me over there if you're not already. Link is in the description. See, I've always assumed that card shops have already grade checked everything. I mean, why wouldn't they? One card graded in a 10 can instantly double the value of the card overnight. But after opening my own store, I've realized the sheer volume of cards coming through the door, the constant buying and selling, and the complete lack of time in the day means a lot more slips through the cracks than you might expect. So the rules are simple. I have to pick up at least one card per store we visit. I'm not allowed to leave empty-handed. I have to spend at least £500 on single cards, not a penny less. And I can only go off in-store inspection. If we get a card all the way home and we realize that it's absolutely cooked, we have to send it for grading anyway. And at the end of the video, we'll reveal the grades to see if we've actually completed the challenge. This is going to be an expensive video, man. Jesus Christ.
Today's route takes me to 4 different card shops across the county, all recommended by you guys. And I'll be honest, one of the cards we picked up later today seriously raises the stakes of this whole video. So the first stop was Trident Cards in Nottingham, one of the most recommended shops when I asked you guys where to go. So I had some high expectations for this one. We also got pretty lucky. It seems we picked a day that they were reasonably quiet and they were really sound about letting me film. So massive thanks to the guys over there. Straight away, what stood out to me was the sheer amount of singles in the cabinets. There was modern stuff, there was mid-era, and then even some vintage, which is always really good to see. But given the challenge, I knew vintage was just a no-go. As sick as some of these cards are, finding genuinely gradable 10 cards is optimistic. Same story with mid-era cards as well. These jump massively in value when they hit a 10, so it makes total sense that most of these card shops are already checking these pretty carefully when they come in. This Mega Mewtwo though, unreal artwork. I'm so glad Pokemon are leaning back into that style with Mega Evolutions and stuff like that. So for me, this shop was always going to be about modern Pokemon cards. Modern cards either have a smaller grading premium or they're just easier for shops to move raw, which usually means more stuff slips through the cracks. That's my logic anyway. So I headed straight for the modern cabinets. They had some 151 singles, which are always a good shout. That Zapdos SAR is one of my favorite artworks from the set, and I still can't believe it's only £60. I think any Sword and Shield alt arts are a great shout right now. Sword and Shield was such a good era, and nearly all of the artworks are so good, so we'll be taking a look at these. Same with the Trainer Gallery alt arts as well. These are severely underrated in my opinion, but they are also really hard to grade, so we'll have to be a little bit more picky with these ones. And then there's modern SIRs too. You can't really go wrong with these. Modern cards right now are worth a lot of money. The artwork is great and they look even better when they're graded too, and there was no shortage of SIRs here, so we had a lot to pick from. I absolutely hate being the guy going through the condition of every single card at a card shop. Made me feel like a little bit of a loser, but for the purpose of the challenge I had to, and the guys over at Trident Cards didn't seem to mind so much. So now I know a lot of you last time absolutely roasted me for not taking the cards out of the top loaders, but I thought I'd explain my thought process on how I go about grading cards at shows and stuff like that. I first go through and I check the centering. You can see whether a card has good centering or not without taking it out of the top loader, which saves a lot of time when you're checking through loads of cards. And then basically I will make 2 piles. I'll make a keep and check later pile and a definite no pile. So that's what you're going to see me do here. So the first card we looked at was the Reshiram and Zekrom. I absolutely love this card. I think it's sick. The fact that we got N standing right in between the Reshiram and Zekrom is just so cool. Fortunately, this card did have some very obvious whitening in the corners, so I ended up just popping this one to the side. Then we had a load of these Galarian Gallery cards. I feel like it wouldn't be a Max Does Pokemon grading video without one of these Suicunes in, so I had to have a look at these ones. The first one had pretty bad centering, just straight off the bat. This one had slightly better centering. I did notice it had some whitening in the corners, but I still wanted to take a look at this one, so I put it into the yes pile. Next up was the Raikou. Unfortunately, this one just had very bad centering, back and front, so I ended up putting that one straight in the no pile. With the Entei as well, this one you can tell from the front there, so the front left is super fat compared to the one on the right, so this one just went straight in the no pile as well. It would have been really cool to have all 3 of them in the grading pile, but yeah, again, the Suicune is the survivor. This Deoxys is so nice as well. I think Galarian Gallery and Trainer Gallery cards are just so underrated. I've said it already in the video. This one had a couple of white dots in the corners that I could see in the top loader, but I ended up putting this one in the look later pile anyway, just because I wanted to see if I could get away with it. So next up, we had the Umbreon and Sylveon trainer gallery cards. These are some of my favorite cards of all time. They're so nice. So yeah, I was really hoping that these ones had good centering. The Umbreon at first glance looked really, really good. So that one went straight into the yes pile. I couldn't see anything wrong with this card. The Sylveon, luckily there was two, because the first one, the centering was just really not good. Really not good on this one. So I ended up putting this one in the no pile. But thankfully, the second one had much better centering. So yeah, this one went straight in the yes pile. I'm definitely hoping that we can take both of these cards from this shop. Next up was the Mewtwo. It's not one of my favorite cards, but I know that some people collect this card graded. Unfortunately, it did look like it had some edge wear on it, so I put that one away. Next up was the Flareon from the collection boxes. Now, this is another one that loads of people just end up grading, so I'm not really sure why I picked this card up in the first place, to be honest. But this one surprised me a little. The centering looked pretty good. I just wanted to check the surface and stuff like that. Next up was the Bulbasaur, an obvious pickup. Everyone loves this card. The fact that it connects with the Charmander and Blastoise as well, it's just such a sick card, so I had to pick this one up. This one is pretty notorious for being hard to grade, just because you can get quite a lot of print lines on the illustration and stuff like that. I ended up putting that one in the yes pile. Next up is the Salamence. Salamence is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I had to pick this card up. Again, I think this card is criminally underrated. It's so underpriced. Even in a 10, I think it's only like 200 quid or something like that. Artwork is insane. It kind of reminds me of the Latias and Latios from Surging Sparks. So yeah, I was really hoping that this card was clean, but unfortunately the centering was just not quite good enough for grading, so I popped that one in the no pile, sadly. The Altaria is another really cool one. I'm starting to think maybe I just like Pokemon that are flying in the sky. I seem to pick up a lot of those. Centering again was a little bit skewed on this one, so I put that one back. The Eevee from the SPC. This one just had like some weird edges, so I ended up just putting that one down. Pidgeot, again, another flying Pokemon. This one had some really bad corner damage, so I just put that one straight down. The Raging Bolt, this one was another bit of a random one. I think it's quite a cool card. Sadly, had some white dots on the back. And of course, I had to pick up the Mewtwo. This was absolutely never going to be a 10 worthy card, but I would have been kicking myself if I didn't have a look. The centering just wasn't quite there with it. It did have some corner damage as well, so I ended up just putting that one in the no pile. So with the survivors, that's when I finally take them out of the top loaders, check the surface, check the edges, check the corners. So starting off with the Flareon, as you can see on the back there was this white dot on the back of the card. So it's a bit unfortunate with that one, but that one's going to have to go in the no pile. Next up was the Sylveon, and I'm going to be honest, this card looked absolutely perfect. I actually couldn't see anything wrong with this one. The surface looked good, the corners looked good, the edges were good. It was just a really clean card. I couldn't see any scratches or anything. So yeah, that one's the first one going into the grade pile. And then next up was the Umbreon as well, which was pretty much the exact same. I couldn't see anything wrong with this one on first glance, which I'm really happy about because it's one of my favorite cards. So yeah, that one's going in the grade pile too. Next up was the Suicune. The front of this card looked really good. There wasn't really anything wrong with the surface. Just unfortunately on the back, as you'll see here, there was a couple of white dots, one in the left and one in the right corner. So I did end up picking this up. We're going to take a little bit of a risk on it. I'm not sure if it's going to grade very well. So these were the first cards we picked up: the Umbreon, Sylveon, and Suicune. I'm really hoping we can get these evolutions back in a 10. But that is £130 spent already, and we're only one shop in. And that was easily the safest shop of the whole day. By the way, guys, if you like the look of any of the cards you see in this video, make sure you go and follow us over on Whatnot by scanning this QR code. If you sign up using this link, you can get yourself £10 absolutely free to spend. All you got to do is cover shipping. Right now, we are doing pack breaks and singles, but in the very near future, we are going to be £1 starting ace slabs. So make sure you're signed up, make sure you're spending your £10 as well, and following us over on Whatnot, and I'll catch you in the next stream. Next up, we actually realized Trident Cards had a second store in Mansfield, which some of you pointed out. So we headed there next. And at this point, I was already £130 down. So the pressure was way higher going into this store. The maps took us this really rogue back route. We're in Ravenshead. But we finally got there, and this place was massive. They had a massive amount of singles to go through, from vintage all the way through to modern, just like the first store. The staff were very patient with me as well because I had a lot to look at. I didn't film as much in this store as I didn't want to get any of the customers in the shots without their permission, but I took a look at a ton of cards. The biggest one being this Espeon, which I saw a tiny bit of silver in, but I'm praying that we get away with it. I also picked up this Zygarde too, which, to be honest, I don't think it's going to grade well. I just thought it was a really cool card. Same with the Glaceon too. I'm a bit of a sucker for X and for my full arts. The Walking Wake is cool too. I think the Temporal Forces SIRs are a little bit unloved. And lastly, the Dialga. I think Dialga is sick. I played so much Pokemon Diamond when I was younger, and there's not enough Dialga cards. They need to give a little bit more love to Dialga. There's not enough of them. So that was another £300 in that store. Like I said, I'm taking a bit of a risk on the Espeon, but it would be insane to see a 10 in that card. The best bit is that's not even half the cost of the card that we picked up later. So on to the next store.
I want to catch the wiper, bro. He's watching you film.
What is that? The next store was a really cool find suggested by you guys on Instagram. It's Rocket HQ in Huthwaite. Huthwaite? Huthwaite? Who the is Huthwaite? They had a really clean store, and it was impressive how much they fit in there for the size of the store too. They had loads of vintage packs and this sick cabinet with singles. They also had some binders too, but I stuck to the cabinets. We're only doing big cards today. They had modern alt arts, vintage cards. These legend cards are so sick. Loads of Charizards, a ton of SIRs, and just loads of really sick cards, to be honest. And here's what I picked out. And I had some high hopes for these cards because they were not cheap. The first one I looked at was Lily's Clefairy. Unfortunately, I just think the front centering was a little bit too far off when I inspected it. And unfortunately as well, there was this white dot in the corner. I just don't think this card would 10, sadly, so I had to put that one down. There was a second one that I looked at, and the front centering was a little bit better, but there was just something up with the right-hand side of the card. I couldn't really show it that well on the camera, but I just think the edges would have made it a 9 or an 8 or something like that. Next up was the Flareon from Prismatic. The centering looked all right on this one. It was a little bit top-heavy, but then when I flipped the card over, there was, again, just some damage in the corner that I just think it just wouldn't 10. And I don't really want to take a risk. I've already taken a risk with the Espeon, so I didn't want to also have another risk with another Prismatic card. Same with the Vaporeon as well. The centering was pretty much there. It was a little bit top heavy again. I feel like maybe we could get away with it. Maybe. The back was actually quite clean as well. Couldn't see any whitening on the corners or edges or anything. I did end up leaving this one just because I'd already risked too much money on the Espeon, and I'm already spending way too much money, man. Next up was the Bulbasaur from Mega Evolution. Now, this card was really clean. It's really hard to get these in 10s because the illustration on the front always has print lines and scratches on, but this one was clean. It looked really good. Same with the back as well. The centering was pretty bang on, so I think we'll probably end up taking this one. I'm realizing now that I watch back the footage as well, I completely forgot to even look at the Charizard that I picked up. So yeah, that was great. So unfortunately from this stack of cards, I just left with the Bulbasaur, but I am pretty happy about that because I do have to leave every card store with at least one card. So hopefully we can get a small win with this one. And finally, we headed off to our last location.
On a cold and wet day in the West Midlands, Max is buying breedable cards.
For our final store, we headed to Rusty's Collectables in Redditch, which is where I kind of blew the budget for this video. They had a really sick card store with some mad cards in the cabinet, including this. So I had a look at the Arceus Gold from V-Star Universe, which is a mad card. It had good enough centering for me, and the surface actually looked pretty good. So I was thinking about taking this one, even though it wasn't more on the pricey side. Then there was this Reshiram, which sadly just didn't have that great centering, so I had to leave it. But next up, though, there was this, the Mega Charizard X SIR from Phantasmal Flames. And my word, this card was so clean. Like, this card was perfect. There was nothing wrong with the surface. I couldn't see anything wrong with the centering and edges. So it was a no-brainer for me to pick up these two. This card alone cost more than everything I'd already bought in this video combined. And if it doesn't 10, there is surely no way this video makes any money. It was finally time to head home and submit these cards for grading. We picked up a total of 11 cards for a total of £948.98, plus grading fees. That takes us up to a total of £1,149.98, which is so much over budget. Oh my word. I plan on spending literally no more than £500. So yeah, next time you'll see me, we'll have the graded cards. And honestly, I have no idea if this was a good idea or a complete waste of money.
All right, guys, welcome back. In front of me is the submission. Forgive me, I've had a little bit of a move around in the office, so it's probably a little bit disorientating. But yes, we have our submission back from the cards that we got from the card shops. I have absolutely no idea what is in this. I have no idea if we have made money, if we've lost money, but I'm very excited to open this up and see if we've cooked or if we've been cooked. So I'm just going to get right into it. Remember, guys, if you are grading with Ace, make sure you use my code MDP. It does get you 5% off with Ace grading. If you decide to grade your cards with Ace, they are a great company. Okay, let's go from, should we go from the front or the back? I reckon let's go from the back. That's probably easier. I didn't know what to use to cover the grades up, and I found this Salamence card in the office, so we're going to use that. I can't remember what order these cards are going to be in, to be honest. Let's just flip it right over. Oh, the Umbreon. This is the Trainer Gallery Umbreon. This is such a sick card, man. So nice. I wish this is how they did the trainer cards in Journey Together, you know, because these are just way cooler. I remember this card looking so good, so I've got high expectations for this. I think we're going to be all right with this one. Hopefully it's a 10. There we go. Our first 10 of the video. Man, it's so clean as well. Such a nice card. I have no idea how much this card's worth in a 10. Let's have a look. I'd say it's like £100. There's one from January that's 125. There's another one for 115. I'd say it's about £115. That's pretty good going. I can't remember what we paid for this. I will put the numbers on screen, but that is about £115 market, that one. So that's pretty good going so far. Not bad. Right, on to number 2. We have got the Espeon. Now, this one, I remember this one. This had a little bit of silvering. You can kind of see it, actually, now that I'm looking in the slab. There was a little bit of silvering just down here. I did think I was pushing my luck a little bit with this one, but I wanted to see if we could get away with it because, yeah, the back centering isn't perfect now that I look at it. It's not great. We might take an L with this one. Let's see. If we can get a 10, that'd be crazy. A 9. A 9. I mean, it's not bad. I feel like a 9 would still be slightly more expensive than the raw cost of this card. I might be wrong. Let me have a look. Yeah, the Ace 9 in this card is like 160. I can't remember what we paid for the card in general, to be honest. I think we paid less than that for the card. So we have made a little bit of money on the card still. So I mean, I don't know if I take that as a complete fail. I mean, you obviously want the 10s, but a 9 in this card is still pretty cool. I reckon we're all right with that. It is such a nice card. So I mean, you take those. It's not bad. Right, next up we have got the Zygarde. Now, I remember this card. I just ended up picking this one up because I thought it was really cool, to be honest. I don't think it's going to grade particularly well. There was some whitening up in this corner. I think there might have been some whitening somewhere else. Yeah, down in this corner here, if you can see that. I'm not expecting good things for this, to be honest. I just kind of wanted this in the slab, which goes against the challenge, really. But, I mean, if we can slip a 10 through, that would be quite cool. I'll actually take that. A 9 is not bad. A 9 is really not bad in that card. It's just so sick. You can't tell me that's not an awesome card, even for a Zygarde. Like, Zygarde's not one of the coolest Pokemon ever. It looks a little bit like Power Ranger, but it's still a sick card. Yeah, you know what? Not bad. I'll put that one to the side. Let's have a look at how much that actually is as well. I imagine there's not a lot of sales on this card. Yeah, the last sold in a 10 is £500. That's crazy. The only sales I can see is PSA 9, which is around like 100 quid. I'm gonna be conservative and say this is like 80 quid, maybe. You know, maybe someone would buy that for 80 quid. You guys can roast me in the comments if you think otherwise. Right, next up, the Bulbasaur. And I think this one is a little bit of a tap-in, to be honest. I didn't really see anything wrong with this card in the store. The illustration was clear. It didn't really have any scratches. Centering's pretty bang on. There's no corner damage. I don't think this is a very expensive card in a 10, but we will see. Easy peasy, another 10. We're actually doing pretty well so far. We've got 2 10s. I mean, there's people out there that probably think you can't even get 10s from card shops, so I'm happy that we're getting some 10s. It's like £50, £55. Let's put £50 just to be safe. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. It's a really cool card. I'll probably just put that one in the PC, to be honest. Right, next up, the Sylveon. Now, this is another one that I really want a 10 on. This is such a sick card. I just love these artworks. I think they're so sick. Really, really underrated. These cards are still so cheap to pick up for some reason. Maybe just because they came out of packs a lot more than like SIRs do and stuff like that. But they're really, really cool cards. I'm really hoping to see a 10 in this one because I think this one is another like 100 quid or something like that. Let's have a look. Easy, another 10. Look at the label on that, by the way. It's got the cherry blossom like blowing out into the sky. That is nuts. That's such a sick card. Yeah, crazy. Let's see the price on that one. I can't see too many Ace 10 sales on this one. The last sold it went for like 105, but that was in December. I would argue that it's probably similar cost to the Umbreon. I'm gonna put this one at like 110. I'm gonna say it's about 110. This one was 115. This one's about 110. I think that's fair. Again, you guys can call me out in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Hopefully it doesn't come down to these 2 cards anyway and we make a load more profit, but yeah, very happy with them. Right, next up, We have got the Arceus Gold from V-Star Universe. This is one of the nicest cards ever made. The texture on the Japanese versions of these cards, by the way, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. It's so much better on the Japanese cards, and the Japanese cards are cheaper. Yeah, just the artwork on these cards is absolutely unbelievable. I remember picking this card up. I didn't really look at it too much because it was from the last shop that we went to. But looking at it again now, the corners look good, the edges look pretty good. I mean, let's be honest, we want to see another 10 in this card, don't we? Oh, another 10. Another 10. We're making it look easy at this point. The Arceus V-Star from V-Star Universe in an Ace 10. I can't remember how much we picked this up for, but let's look at the Ace 10 cost on this one. Easy. It's like another £110. 109.99 is the last sold on this one in February, yesterday. So another one. You take those. You take those all day. It's another £110. Let's see what we got in the next one. The Dialga, another really cool card. I think it's really underrated. This from Astral Radiance, I think. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Astral Radiance. Can't see a lot wrong with this one either. No corner dots, nothing. So I think we might have another, hopefully another 10 on our hands here. Oh, it's just so cool. Artwork is just so nice. I keep looking at it. Right, let's see. Ace 10. Another Gem Mint 10, guys. We are getting so many 10s, and they're all from card shops as well, which is just the maddest thing. Let's see how much this one goes for. That is another £105. These cards feel so cheap to me. I think Ace is actually such a good investment right now. Like the prices of some of the cards don't make any sense. They just don't make any sense to me. Now that the prices of Ace have come down a bit, like I think it's a no-brainer picking up these cards. Like the artwork on the labels is so cool. The actual quality of the slabs is fantastic. Yeah, very happy with that one. Ooh, next up is the Walking Wake from Temporal Forces. It's a pretty underrated card, I think. I think a lot of the Temporal Forces cards are quite underrated. I think it's just because these three dog Pokemon, not the legendary dog Pokemon, they just have made them a bit weird, to be honest. That's probably why people don't really like them so much. This one, the corners look like they're cut a little bit funny, and there is a white dot there and a white dot there. So, I mean, this one's a bit of a chancer, I think, but we'll see. It's an Ace 9 on the Walking Wake. I feel like this one is probably going to be close to raw cost. Let me have a look. Yeah, oof. That might be our first L of the video. That's about 35 quid. And I mean, taking into consideration the cost of the card and the cost of grading, I'm pretty sure that is a loss. Let's put that in the 9 pile and hopefully move on to some better things. I really want to go positive in this video. I really want to go positive. It's another Suicune, or I shouldn't say another Suicune actually, because the last card was Walking Wake, but another Suicune. This is the one from V-Star Universe as well, the Galarian Gallery, Crown Zenith, I should say, sorry. I remember this card actually. So this one had a white dot in the corner, a white dot in the corner, and then the front was clean. And I think I was just taking a chance that they would let me off. So again, I feel like this one's probably going to get a 9 and we might take a small loss on this one, but let's see. Another 9. I should actually be a grader, I think. I know what the grades are going to be before I even take the thing off. Yeah, unfortunate with that one. It's a really nice card. The label is super sick, but sadly, another 9. I feel like this is going to be another loss as well. Let me check the price. Yeah, this one is very firmly £40, maybe even 35. Let's put 35 just to be to make this a fair test, right? £35. So another loss, I think, on that one. Right, we've got 2 cards left. And from memory, it would be the Charizard, obviously, and the Glaceon, I think we had. So let's see what we got next. Oh, it's the Zard. No, we have to save the Zard. We have to save the Zard till last. The next one is the Glaceon. This one, I don't think it's going to grade, really. This is another one that I just picked up. I probably should have just not put it in the video, to be honest. I just picked it up because I wanted it. It's a cool card. The texture on the card didn't look too bad, but I think the centering is just a bit off. To be fair, the corners really aren't that bad. There's like one dot up here. It probably is going to be surface, to be honest, that will let this card down, because they have like really intricate texture on these full arts. So that's probably going to be what lets it down, but we'll see. Maybe a 10. Maybe a 10 would be quite sick. A 7. A 7. Oh, okay. Do I want to check the price on this one? Is there even going to be any? There was actually an Ace 7 sale. It was in November, and it sold for the price of £15. £15. That feels criminally cheap. That one's a fat L. But we do have the Charizard next. which is what we've all been waiting for, really. This is what's going to kind of turn the tide for us, really. If we can get a 10 in this, then we are laughing, really. It's just such a nice card. The artwork on this card is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I remember looking at this in the shop as well. I couldn't see a thing wrong with it. It's so clean. There is no dots in the corners. The centering's good. Can't see anything on the surface. You can't really see much on the surface when it's in the slab, to be honest, but imagine another 10. Imagine a 10 in this. It literally all comes down to this. If we don't get a 10 in this, I feel like we have probably lost this challenge. Come on. Please a 10. Please a 10. How much can I sweat this? Oh, the label's sick. The label is sick. Right, what do you think we got? No, I nearly dropped the card. An ace 10. No way, man. We got an ace 10 Mega Charizard SIR. I found this in a card shop. And we've got an ace 10, a Gem Mint 10 Charizard. How much is this even going for now? One sold today for £715. Oh my days. What did we pick this up for? Like $450? That's unbelievable. Man, Mega Charizard SIR. You know what? Like, you think, what? How many cards did we pick up? 11 cards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got more than half in 10s. And they are really clean copies as well. These two I'm very happy with. I think my favorite from the submission is probably these three. So to end this experiment, we ended up getting over £300 back, which is crazy to say. I thought getting cards from card shows was hard enough, but to know you can still find gradable cards at card shops is mental. I think from my perspective as a store owner, this comes down to two things. There are so many people coming into the store every day, buying cards, selling cards to us. There is just a constant flow of cards in and out of the door every day. So to us, sometimes cards will come in the door and our cabinets will look so empty that we need to push things out as soon as they've come in. And then if we did start taking cards and putting them in a grade pile, instead of being able to sell them and getting our money back so that we can invest it into other things, our money then gets tied up in grading, and then we have to wait for the grading to come back and stuff like that. And then that brings me on to point 2, which is I think single cards, in my shop at least, just sell a lot quicker than graded cards do. So to a card shop, it would be much better having the singles in the cabinet than it would having loads of graded cards. I feel like it's much easier to convince someone to buy a card that is £400 that they can try and grade themselves, or they just want to sling in a binder to complete their master set, in comparison to trying to sell a £800 card to someone that's just walked in off the street. That's my take anyway. So there you have it, guys. Let me know down in the comments where you think I should try next to buy cards to grade. I had a lot of fun with this one, so I'm raring to go for the next one. Make sure as well to use my code MDP when you're grading with Ace. You get yourself 5% off, and I get a little bit of a kickback as well, so definitely use my code. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this video. There's going to be so much more content like this on the way, and I'm really trying to hit 50k subs by the end of the year. We are so far off of that goal, and I know it's a little bit ambitious, but I want to get there. I'll catch you in the next one.